Greetings friends, I'm really excited because in this episode we get to talk about my all-time favorite photography format, panoramic. Now I fell in love with this style years ago and I've been shooting panos ever since. Turns out it's actually a very important format for landscape photography. So let's go find out why. When it comes to the great outdoors, we can always count on Mother Nature to spread her wings across a vast and expansive wilderness. As photographers, our job is to take all of this space and contain it within a compact little package. Think of your basic 35mm photograph. You have to pack as much amazing content as you possibly can into a 2x3 rectangle. And for the most part, this looks pretty good. However, this is not always the whole story. In fact, for every 35mm picture that you see, chances are pretty good there is a whole lot more happening on either side of that frame. And whenever there is more of the story to tell, we look to the panoramic format. Here, our vast sweeping landscapes finally get the space they deserve. The panoramic format is near and dear to my heart because I produce artwork for galleries, luxury homes, and hotels. When you work for clients in the fine art world, you can't always just snap off a single picture and be done with it. You have to create monster files with endless resolution. These images are often scrutinized by critics and collectors alike. They get printed 7 feet wide for a very experienced audience, so you can never compromise on quality. Okay, before we go too far down the rabbit hole, let's pump the brakes a bit. We should all have a healthy respect for quality, but this does not mean that you need to go out and buy an expensive new camera and start obsessing over every pixel. The moment we strive for perfection, we will always be disappointed. But that's the beauty of photography. You see, photography is different for everyone. Most landscape photographers don't really need to be concerned with generating huge panoramic files. Most landscape photographers are really just out there to enjoy nature and to capture their experiences. And this is why we built Premium Light Academy. We are here to equip you with the tools to succeed, no matter what style you decide on. If we look at photography from a statistical standpoint, we can see that 99.9% of all the images out there really only make it onto the internet. And this is a place where resolution doesn't really matter. The Instagram phenomenon has definitely changed the way we think about photography. All of a sudden, every single image became a square. Content is meant to be consumed on a phone. And so, the panoramic format is the last thing you're thinking of when you have to cram every single composition into the same little box. Don't get me wrong, social media is great. With one click, we can share our work across the entire world. But at the same time, this convenience has placed huge limitations on our creativity. You can make whatever you like, just as long as it fits into this little box. So what does all this mean for you? Is panoramic photography a dying art form? Should we simply aim to fit in with the latest social media trend? The answers to these questions are totally in your hands. At the end of the day, it all comes down to your vision as an artist. I love the panoramic format, I always have, and I always will. I know these images look amazing on the gallery wall, and so that's where I will continue to concentrate my efforts. Your path may well be quite different, and that's a good thing, because the world is a better place when we celebrate our creative diversity. As we dive into this course, we'll take you on a journey across all different formats. I've been hand-stitching panoramic images together in Photoshop long before any of the automated software came along. I've always enjoyed editing these huge files together, and I'm going to teach you everything I know about hand-blending images the old-fashioned way. Now, both Photoshop and Lightroom have very powerful tools which can stitch your panoramic images together automatically with the click of a button. We will definitely cover all of these features as well. And while automation is definitely getting better, it's still nowhere near as good as what we can do by hand. We'll also be sharing some side-by-side comparisons to help illustrate this idea. By the end of this course, you'll have a broad understanding of the entire digital workflow, and you'll be able to decide which technique is best for you. At the end of the day, your artistic vision is all that really matters. The composition is all up to you. Regardless of what format you choose, photography will help you see the world in a whole new perspective. And now, it's time to get out there and make some magic.